now let's cover the deform tool of displacement. And the best way to present the displacement is definitely by using an example. The displacement is a tool that will create some random condition, some way of a random condition of kind of a noise through the surface of the object. Let me make this object a bit shorter, let's say 200. And let's move the subdivisions a bit higher. Let's say something like 20 for every subdivision. And let's get closer. And now let's apply in the deform the displacement. So the displacement, what it creates is this parallel noise that you are perceiving here. By default, usually it creates a lot of noise, which sometimes is not exactly what you're looking for. But at the moment that you start playing with elements like the displacement intensity, then things start doing something more interesting. So let's say that the origin is 10. Let's move it to 5, or even less. Let's move it to 1. And now you have a different surface that could represent maybe something like a flag or something like a surface that is irregular, but not so intense in terms of the design. It could also become part of a world that you are creating. Good thing about this tool is that we are not adding extra geometry. We're working with the geometry that the object already have and just creating this irregular effect that we are presenting here. Now, there are other parameters like the subdivisions, elements that you can change depending on the of what is the effect that you want to create. But one thing that represents the parallel in the best way is these elements, these parameters that you have here. And the way for me to explain them is that they are going to be affected like in chain one after another. So let's put it as an example. I'm going to move these values to all the values to 0. So let's put it here and this one as 0. So as you can see, when you start, there's nothing. You don't have any information about the parallel. But as you increase the values of the frequency or intensity of the different parameters, then one is going to be added to the previous one until you can get something that is extremely deformed. So this is the part of the parallel where you can play with if you want to create a static mesh that has this kind of design. As I'm telling you, it could be an irregular surface. It could be something like a flag, something like a sheet that, you know, is going to have like this kind of aspect. And of course, it is going to answer to the fact that will be an static mesh.